Something is life-threatening, they do use hospitals.
Go back home and just go back to like my everyday like working life and having to be on my phone all the time. Right. So
Suddenly Amish Season 1, Episode 7 recap and spoilers. Billie Jo's health crisis.
I get there.
And Reckoning Day looms. The 7th episode of Suddenly Amish is arguably the most emotionally charged installment of the season so far, bringing together family conflict, physical illness, and the mounting pressure of a reckoning day that will determine...
I don't know, I think it's still like something I'm really debating.
Whether the English participants choose to stay in their Amish community or return to the lives they left behind. Episode 7 intensifies from the moment Judah's mother arrives in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, to Billie Jo's harrowing hospital visit due to heat exhaustion. Here is everything that happened. James builds the phone shanty. While Judah navigates the emotional minefield of his mother's visit, James is given a practical task that speaks directly to one of the most distinctive features of traditional Amish life. The bishop explains to James the concept and importance of a phone shanty, a small, separate structure located away from the main house where a shared telephone is kept. The reasoning behind the shanty is rooted in Amish philosophy. The phone is a tool that can be useful for maintaining contact with the outside world, particularly for emergencies or family matters. But it must not become a constant presence in the home. By placing it at a distance, the community discourages idle conversation and ensures that phone use remains intentional rather than habitual. James gets to work and completes the shanty. James achieves a quiet yet satisfying feat, paving the way for the group's initial meaningful communication with their families. Billie Jo uses the phone to call her mother and share what she has been experiencing. Aaron takes the opportunity to speak with his family as well, explaining the ongoing difficulties he has faced with his hearing aids, a challenge that has shadowed his entire time in the community. Aaron's mother, unsurprisingly, asks the question that all of their families seem to be asking: when is he coming home? Aaron's answer is careful and non-committal. He tells her they will see. Esmeralda also attempts a call, but dials the wrong number. A small comic moment that nonetheless underscores how unfamiliar and disorienting even the simplest modern conveniences can feel when they have been stripped away for weeks. Judah's mother meets the community and struggles. Back with Judah and his mother, Alan, the community overseer, watches the dynamic between them with careful eyes. He notices quickly that Judah's mother is, in many ways, a lot like he himself was before his journey into simplicity. She is impatient, skeptical, and deeply uncomfortable with what she does not understand. Alan sees a reflection of his own former self in her resistance, which gives him a particular kind of empathy for the situation, even as he hopes that Judah will ultimately choose to remain. The tension continues as Sarah, one of the Amish women guiding the English participants through traditional practices, gathers the ladies for a lesson in making homemade hygiene products. This is the kind of hands-on, practical knowledge that the Amish have preserved for generations, and for the English women who have grown up surrounded by drugstores and convenience culture, it represents both a challenge and a revelation. The women throw themselves into it, cooking together and learning as they go. Judah's mother, however, struggles to find the spirit of the experience. She complains throughout dinner. She questions why the children run around the farm without shoes. She cannot fathom how anyone can live without the conveniences she has always taken for granted: the appliances, the climate control, and the instant communication. James points out that Judah, in particular, is not complaining, as everyone in the community is accustomed to this lifestyle. Judah himself tries to engage his mother in honest conversation about what they are experiencing, but she seems largely unable or unwilling to meet him where he is. Then, Judah's mother takes a phone call at the dinner table, a move that directly highlights the cultural divide. It is a moment that requires no commentary. The stark contrast is evident. The title of this moment is A Mother's Love and the Limits of Understanding. As the evening wears on, the friction between Judah and his mother reaches its most emotional peak. She tells him plainly that she wants him out of the Amish clothes and back home with her. Her fear for him is real and palpable. She references the fact that he was nearly killed at some point in his past, a detail that clearly haunts her and has made his constant accessibility feel not just preferable, but necessary for her peace of mind. The idea of her son living somewhere she cannot easily reach him, in a way she does not understand, doing things she cannot monitor, overwhelms her. For his part, Judah does not capitulate. He defends his decision with quiet conviction, explaining what this experience has given him, what he has learned, and who he is becoming. He tells his mother that he loves her, that is not in question, but that he is staying. He is not asking for her permission. In the end, something shifts in Judah's mother, whether it is exhaustion, respect, or simply the recognition that her son is a grown man who has made a genuine choice. She tells him that she respects his decision, and then she leaves. She returns to her hotel for the night, and the following morning, she heads home without him. It is a bittersweet resolution, a mother letting go, at least for now, and a son standing firm in something he clearly believes in. Alan watches all of the proceedings with a complicated mix of relief and concern. He is glad that Judah is staying, but he is still not entirely satisfied with where the group as a whole stands as Reckoning Day approaches. Esmeralda's ongoing deliberation. Esmeralda remains one of the most thoughtfully undecided members of the group. Unlike some of the others who have shown clear emotional pulls in one direction or another, Esmeralda is working through her decision with a kind of measured pragmatism that makes her arc particularly compelling to watch. She continues going to her job in town during this episode, maintaining her connection to the outside world in a way that the other participants are not. During one of her shifts, she speaks with her employer about a Roomba, a robotic vacuum cleaner, and enthusiastically suggests that he invest in one. It is a funny, telling moment. Esmeralda is still fully herself, practical, engaged with modern technology, and not particularly reverent about the Amish principles she is supposed to be immersing herself in. Her honest assessment of the situation is equally revealing. She reflects that Amish life, at its core, is not dramatically different from the life she already leads at home. This is not a dismissal of the community or its values. It seems to come from a place of genuine observation rather than contempt. However, it raises a significant question about whether the Amish experience offers her anything fundamentally different from what her life already includes. She is not struggling in the ways that some of the others are. She is simply thinking. She remains undecided. Billie Jo's health crisis. The most alarming development of the episode centers on Billie Jo, whose body finally reaches its limit under the physical demands and harsh outdoor conditions of Amish farm life. The heat becomes overwhelming, and Billie Jo collapses, visibly ill and unable to continue. It is serious enough that she is taken to the hospital. For a show built around the premise of stepping away from modern conveniences, there is something quietly poignant about watching a participant have to return to the medical infrastructure of the English world in a moment of genuine need. Esmeralda is visibly worried about her friend and fellow participant. Judah, demonstrating the loyalty and care he has shown throughout his time in the community, refuses to leave Billie Jo's side at the hospital. The diagnosis is heat exhaustion, serious but treatable. Billie Jo is placed on N4 to rehydrate, and after being assessed, the doctor clears her to return home as long as she commits to staying hydrated. The relief in the room is palpable. She did not need surgery. She is not in danger, but the experience shakes her. When Billie Jo returns to the community, she does not collapse into rest. She gets back to work. It is a choice that says something important about her character, and perhaps about why she came in the first place. She has always wanted this kind of life, she says. That one has not disappeared because her body struggled. But she is honest enough with herself to acknowledge that she is not certain she can sustain it. Her physical limits are real and need to be addressed before the official reckoning. Reckoning Day approaches. With the episode drawing toward its close, Alan gathers the group to prepare them for what lies ahead. Reckoning Day is tomorrow, the moment when each participant must declare whether they will commit to the Amish community or return to their English lives. Alan asks how Billie Jo is feeling in the aftermath of her hospitalization. He clearly sees her health scare as an obstacle to her decision, one that the others face differently. He addresses the group with the gravity the moment deserves, inviting any final questions before they each face what could be one of the most significant decisions of their lives. He also offers something meaningful. He tells the English participants that he and James are willing to put in a good word for them with the broader community and its leadership. This is not a small gesture in Amish culture, where trust is earned slowly and the opinion of respected community members carries significant weight. However, the offer creates some friction. Both Judah and Alan are shown to be unsettled with James in some capacity, though the specifics of that tension are not fully unpacked in this episode, suggesting that the conflict will carry forward into the finale. Aaron, meanwhile, is flagged as someone who may need to speak directly with the bishop before Reckoning Day. His hearing aid situation has been a persistent complication throughout the season, and it may require a specific conversation about how his needs can or cannot be accommodated within the community's framework. Esmeralda, for her part, continues to express worry, not just about her own decision, but about the transition as a whole. Whatever she chooses, the process of getting there has been anything but simple. Judah's mother arrives, and she is not happy. The episode opens with Judah's mother making the journey to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the heart of the Amish community where her son has been living, working, and attempting to forge a new kind of life. Her arrival is not a warm, curious visit. She comes with purpose, and that purpose is to bring Judah home. The reunion is tense from the very first moment. Judah's mother immediately scolds him for not staying in touch, and Judah has to patiently explain something that the viewers have watched him gradually come to understand over the course of the season. He does not have a phone. That is not negligence or indifference on his part. It is simply the reality of the life he has chosen to explore, a life governed by the principles of simplicity, community, and deliberate separation from the noise and constant connectivity of the modern world. Judah, to his credit, does not get defensive. Instead, he tries to show his mother what his daily existence actually looks like. He demonstrates how he chops wood, a task that provides the fuel needed for the family to cook their meals. It is a small but meaningful moment, a son trying to translate an entirely foreign way of living into something his mother can see and understand. The effort, however, seems to fall flat. Judah observes with visible disappointment that his mother does not appear proud of him. She is not marveling at what he has learned or what he is capable of. She is counting down the minutes until she can get him out of there. What it all means. Episode 7 of Suddenly Amish is ultimately an episode about pressure. The pressure of family expectations, the pressure of physical limits, and the pressure of a decision that cannot be postponed much longer. Judah's mother's visit forces him to articulate out loud and to someone who desperately does not want to hear it why he is choosing to stay. Billie Jo's trip to the hospital forces her to confront the gap between what she wants and what her body is capable of enduring. Esmeralda's quiet deliberation forces viewers to sit with the uncomfortable reality that the right answer is not always the dramatic one. Alan watches it all with the eyes of someone who has seen this kind of reckoning before and knows it can't be rushed. The English participants came here looking for something, each of them for their reasons. Whether they found it and whether what they found is enough to make them stay is a question that